All right, so let's dig a little deeper into some of the nuances of TCM as it relates to fertility or a healthy reproductive cycle. This is where it starts to get juicy and interesting as we start to layer in some details. The next thing I want to mention here, which is a really interesting concept, I think, in Chinese medicine as it relates to fertility or ovulation as well, and the timing of things, is when we start to look at the reproductive cycle in the next section, you'll see there's a perfectly orchestrated timing to all of this. And so the coordination of this symphony of events is particularly important. In Chinese medicine, rather than thinking of this as a meridian, think of this as an energetic link. So sometimes it's referred to the Bao Mai, which is thought of as a meridian, or called the Uterus Vessel. But what it's talking about here is really this energetic communication between the heart and the uterus, which is kind of interesting considering in Western medicine we have a hard time kind of really connecting to that. The connection between those is not as clear as it is in Chinese medicine. So the Bao Mai is particularly active during ovulation, and you can kind of think of this like the pituitary function here of kind of orchestrating some of this communication through the hypothalamus and the pituitary. But the heart, remember, is the Shen, so it's that also that emotional sensitivity that is also potentially influencing the uterus, and this is an important part of the orchestration of ovulation and the pituitary and all of that. That is particularly important. So we talked about this already a little bit as that heart chi stagnation, and how important the emotional balance is to allow for the perfect orchestration of the cycle here. So this is a nice picture because you can see some of the different influences here we're going to talk about in a second on the uterus and the female reproductive system. Remember, the kidneys house the Jing, which is what creates the substance for all of these things to happen: the egg, the follicle, the lining of the uterus, and even just our reproductive development, much less. The liver stores the blood for the menses and the uterine lining, and the spleen is what creates the blood through our nutrition, what's called the postnatal essence. So postnatal essence isn't what you've been born with. What we technically traditionally call the essence is what you've been born with, but it's what my body creates it from that digestive process. And the Bao Mai is what connects and provides that connection between the uterus and the heart here. So an important one, and it reminds us too of the importance of stress management, meditation, exercise, activities that you enjoy, laughter, and so, which can all be hampered a bit when women are going through fertility treatments. Things can become quite robotic, much less the hormones that they're getting to, which influence emotions.